Ah, and we're here. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Drakenmemoria. And what is Drakenmemoria, you may ask? Well, it's Dungeons and Dragons, and more specifically, a group of people playing Dungeons and Dragons. Again, tonight it might also be a group of 3 people and a picture playing Dungeons and Dragons. We don't know why. We didn't have any information about why. Today, we also have a picture playing with us. We hope he's at least gonna give us a reason why during the night. We also hope he's actually going to be here tonight. If he's not, well, too bad. The quiz goes on. All right.
And we're sorry if something terrible happened.
Yeah, well, I was trying to find something interesting to say with that, but yeah, that's it. For everyone else who actually knows why you're here, because you actually find it fun watching us, we know there's at least 20 of you. If you like watching us, you've seen us before, you've heard about us from a friend who said, "Oh, they're decent. They're not Critical Role, but they pass time, so go watch them." We appreciate it. It's a pleasure to have you with us. Take a seat, find a bowl of popcorn, something to drink. If you're allergic to popcorn, I've never heard anyone allergic to popcorn, but you never know. Take whatever you like. And we love you, even if you're allergic to popcorn. Honestly, it's really not a problem. So,
we just won't invite you to the movies.
Yeah, ever. But we don't need that to be friends. I'm still going to answer you if you write to me. Maybe unless, again, you're one of those porn YouTube site that keeps leaving comments on my videos that only last 6 hours and then they disappear. I appreciate it. The picture is really fine. But I really like a comment that actually stay there. And that I don't have to worry that I might be banned for leaving it there. So, if you're one of those person that actually can leave a comment, do so, please. It's always appreciated. Alright, for campaign. Right now, apparently we've lost a player for a moment. Let's hope he's gonna come back. Audience is frozen. Oh, the joys.
I was frozen today.
The joys of live. Everything, anything. Things that are live. You never know what's gonna
happen. Did power actually come back? Or was he using like the generator?
He's using the generator. He said one cord is plugged in the internet, and the other one in his computer. That's why there's no light, because he's using everything just to be with us. And apparently there was a hiccup in his generator. So let's hope
we had an insane windstorm last night, but I live in the city, so my power is fine.
Oh, goodness. All right. So, let's get started. Hopefully, our 2 absent players, at least one's going to come back. Yeah. So, last episode. Well, most of the episode was spent recovering from the ordeal of an unstable teleportation through a realm where huge interference can cause someone to be thrown a little while forward in time and exit with a huge amount of exhaustion because they were nearly torn apart by whatever influences are in there. So the group ended their rest found what to do. Okay. Well,
Keep going. I'm on it.
all right. Apparently, we have more trouble with our paladin. So, they all rejoined and talked a bit about what was happening. Everyone was tired, and so they mostly stared at one another. But audience did find out that him and a few other members of the garden had actually been in contact with the same footprint from an extremely powerful entity, which basically was destroying their mind simply by being close to them. They were reassured, as much as reassuring can happen in those times, about the fact that they weren't going to end. But this is one of the reasons why the garden is so limited in its ability to help everyone. Because if they exert too much energy, they could attract the attention of this entity, and this entity can indeed completely destroy their world. And this is why the garden is so often helpless, even though whenever the party isn't there, they can witness an insane level of magical knowledge and a bit of distress because there's so many gnomen there playing with this insane amount of knowledge and magic. But nevertheless, they were slightly reassured. And they all went back. They had a nice meal, a nice discussion with this brash, rude. There's a lot of adjectives that can be used to describe this orc. But he's been following the group ever since. His promise to kill Fisher is still in the air. So, but as long as they meet inside the garden, because this is hollowed place, sorry, he will not attack Fisher. So, for now, it's just insult, banters, and just acknowledging the fact that he is there. And so this is where our last episode ended. And I'm going to switch audience to his picture because it's a bit odd to see him frozen like this. Here we go. Hopefully, he's going to be back not too late. Oh, goodness. I'm not familiar with what Comcast is, but I'm guessing it's not good.
It's an internet provider.
Oh, that's interesting.
Not the best.
No, so we have one player who we have absolutely no idea why he's not here and he's not answering us. And the other one is in the middle of not having any electricity, and now his internet provider is down. So let's hope the entire night is not just with Ramy and Fisher.
Again.
Well, last time Fisher
I feel like a little edge in that last comment there. Just like Ramy and Fisher.
All right, so after...
There's nothing left to talk about. We've already talked about everything.
Yeah, so we don't have any choice. the show must go on. So you all went to bed after this long and odd discussion, and including Core, you ate some sea snake meat, a creature that you none of you actually know the name of. You just know that it's a creature that's large, live in the ocean, and this one was around 900 feet long, and Core decided to eat it because the creature tried to eat him. So he saw it as fitting retribution of some sort. You tried to eat me, so I'm gonna eat you because you failed to eat me. So after this interesting meal, with Remy looking at everyone, not being sure exactly of how I think he's supposed to act around them, and also mostly being very drunk, and Fisher just enduring the insults of Core, but also acknowledging the fact that Core seems to be considering him more and more of someone worthy of being called other than just a toy, a mockery, a piece of metal. And so the evening ended with this. Everyone went to sleep, or as close to sleep as they can get. Fisher decided to sleep in his room because he was slightly offended by the fact that there might be some wagers going on to the gnomes that might include him, but he doesn't get anything from it. So he decided to go in the privacy of his room.
Specifically, not that they're happening, but that he doesn't get to be a part of it.
So he decided to go back in his room, where it's supposed to be private. And he actually wasn't there when audience learned that the rooms are meant to be private. It was an accident the last time. A gnomish accident, actually. So there's some meaning behind this, you could say. But they both went back to their room. They had a nice night of rest, and then when morning comes, as always, they wake up within their private room, a very clean room. It's not the most fancy of place, but it's always clean. There's always a place for them to store things. There's a little orb they can use to clean themselves up or dirty themselves up because it has the same quality as a prestidigitation cantrip. So you can do it both ways. If you don't like your room clean, you can soil it using magic. But they wake up in this room, safe, with a bit of a hangover for Remy. But other than that, in good health. So, Fisher, Remy, what do you do?
See, what time did we do a time? We're always so bad at this. Say we were going to meet up together before leaving.
No.
We were going to leave to...
No, everyone was so tired or game tired or life tired that everything just ended after the meal.
Yeah. Sounds about like us. And then, assuming I get up earlier than everybody else, as is kind of normal, or not everybody else, but some of them, I would like to head down to the industrial district, the shopping place.
Okay.
I want to find a smith.
Okay. That's easy enough to do. What kind of smith?
A locksmith.
A locksmith. Okay. Yeah, that's relatively easy to do. You find yourself in front of a pillar with a gear. On most of those, the front of each of the shop, you get the feeling that okay, so it's most likely things which relates to mechanical things and clockwork things. Lock are mostly clockwork things. As always, there are different quality of it. You know that there's usually one of really low quality, which is most likely just a mechanical lock. One that might hold some magical element into it, and one that is heavily magical.
Mm-hmm. I would like to head in and browse around to try and find something that looks similar to whatever lock is on the drawer in my subconscious.
Okay. Okay. Make a perception roll for me, please.
Can I do investigation?
Yeah, you could. It's gonna attract attention because you're gonna go right up to each one of them. It sort of starts studying them and turning them around. You're gonna attract the attention of a store owner, or at least a clerk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 15.
Okay. Well, you spend a little bit of time in the shop that is of the lowest quality, and it really doesn't take long for you to notice that it's most likely not something of that, because even if locks can look very complex, there is a strength to the lock that you have that even though you were pulling on it as hard as you could, it wasn't opening. It wasn't even slightly jiggling. It was holding firm. And even when you go right next to the most complex lock that you can find in there, the moment that you start taking it in your hand and start jostling it, I don't know, trying to figure out if this could be it, you immediately get the attention of one of the clerk inside there. That's not how you're supposed to treat a lock.
But, I mean, why not? If it can't stand being shook around a lot, what's the point?
Well, because you're supposed to put the lock on a door, and usually you can't shake the door.
You can shake a lot of doors.
Not the way you're shaking this. Have you ever tried taking a door and shaking it the way you were shaking the lock right now?
I mean, usually it's from the handle, but...
Yeah, which means the lock doesn't move all that much. It's the handle that you mistreat, not the lock.
So if I'm trying to get into a drawer that doesn't shake when I bang on it or force it open or attempt to force it open, Does that mean it could still be a lock like this, but just because it's not installed in anything is why it's...
Just how bad have you mistreated this thing with the lock on it?
I mean, I didn't break it, but I also couldn't break it, so...
But did you try to pick it or have someone pick it, or did you do the barbarian thing and just started bashing on it?
I attempted to pick it, but I have no idea how to pick a lock, so...
Okay. So, you wouldn't happen to have a picture of this, or maybe the object in question?
Can I try and sketch one out?
Yeah, you can.
You can try
Give me
to do
a minute.
anything.
Okay, you can. What would be, what are the, goodness. You can use either, I'd say you can use either intelligence or charisma, because charisma is for most performance. And intelligence would be really technical drawings, very dry stuff. So I'd let you choose between the two. Which one do you want to use?
You know, I think I'm gonna go with intelligence on this one.
Oh, are you sure?
I appreciate the offer, but
All right, then go ahead.
not going for a super flowy drawing.
What,
Or
Fisher
the,
not going, choosing substance over form? Come on.
What? Is it just straight intelligence?
You have. Yeah, if you would have had tinkering tools or thieving tools, I might have let you use added proficiency, but no.
Smiths are too big.
Smiths, it's mostly for
Yeah.
pieces of metal,
That's not-
doing spades,
yeah.
horseshoes, repairing armor.
Yeah, nothing small like this.
No.
Makes sense. Okay, then that is
Although if it
on
had
top of
been
all
a
the other
lock
dice.
from a
That
giant
is
chest,
a 19.
19.
Yeah, 19.
All right. So you draw a pretty convincing lock. Hold on. Let me check for just to be sure, but pretty sure it's yeah. So you draw a pretty convincing drawing. You look at it, you're aware that it's not exact, but you're pretty sure everything important is there. So he takes the drawing and wow, I've never seen anything like it before. There is a keyhole, so it's definitely not something that it's completely magical. And this, did you just draw the lock or did you draw the desk also?
I would have drawn like the individual drawer,
Okay.
but not like much of the rest of the desk.
Okay. Well, just from the outside, it's a bit difficult to see what kind of complexity there is inside. You said you tried to pick it. How did it feel? Were there a lot of moving parts? Did you hear grinding? Did you hear clicking?
It was, I mean, I was poking at something with a little piece of metal.
Yeah,
I
that's...
saw my friend do it once, and
Yeah.
Well, you have the dictionary definition of picking locks. That's I have to grant that to you.
It felt like there were multiple moving parts.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's how most locks work. Oh goodness. Hey, come over here. Come over here. Here, take those tools, and he hands you thieving tools to open lock, and try and open this one, and tell me how similar it is.
I hold them up, and I'm like, well, first of all, this is nothing like what I tried to pick it with.
Okay.
And then try and pick the lock. Just kind of fumbling about with some metal sticks inside it.
Sleight of hand. Sleight of hand. Ten.
There's the rolls we know and love.
Yeah. I mean, there's no bonus, so 10 is perfectly average.
Yeah, no, it's... I mean... It's one of the best rolls you did in the last 3 games.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I was
a
very
low
surprised
blow.
at that 19 I got it.
It's not an inaccurate blow, but still low.
I was thinking about this earlier today. Well, when a player keeps rolling really high roll, a lot of people usually say he's cheating, but no one says anything when a player rolls really low too many times in a row. Maybe there's a problem in all of this. Maybe
I am using a new die.
Maybe we should be more lenient to excessively lucky players. Alright, so you try this and it takes a moment, but the lock eventually opens, and to your surprise, this is the first lock you've ever managed to pick without hitting it.
Mm-hmm.
And how did that feel compared to what you felt in there? If I remember correctly, the roll that you made, which was worse than this one, you'd say that this one would probably be a lot less complex, but also more fragile. Felt like there were more moving parts in that one.
In the one, okay, yeah, not in this one. More, yeah, okay. Well, this one is definitely worse. I mean, it's got a lot. There's a lot of less stuff in there.
I didn't give you the best luck I had. I wanted to have a base to compare it with.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Although, yeah, so this one seems like it's like there's less stuff going on in there, but also it's more fragile. Although I will let you know, I'm not entirely sure what I did to make this lock open. I was still just kind of fumbling about.
Yeah, well, like I said, I didn't give you the best luck I had. I just wanted to have something to compare it with. I actually know this lock, and you really took your time for this one. You hear from inside of you. Tell me about it. Okay.
It's the Francis Scott lock.
Usually people just touch it and it opens, but you actually had to try. Uh, so, okay. Where was this object placed? And I mean, I don't have a lot of things to compare it with. I can give you a bigger lock, something very sturdy, something maybe a bit dwarvish in making, or I can give you a really 100% gnome-proof gnomish lock. But on its own, what is it attached to? The room itself. Were you in a gnomish environment, a dwarven environment, a dark elf environment?
It was in a desk.
Okay, well, that
in a kind of a mixed bag.
Okay.
Stuff.
Wait, the drawer was in a bag.
What were you doing in the bag?
Right.
No.
If I tell you where it actually is, you gotta promise, one, you won't make me try and unlock it a different way that I'm not gonna be able to do and don't want to try right now. And two, you're not gonna laugh at me.
Okay.
All right. So I'm a construct, right?
I sort of gathered that.
Yeah.
Although you
So
do
we
have
don't-
big elements of plants in you, so.
You ever seen a construct sleeping?
On some occasions.
So, a couple of times now, when I have slept/meditated to try and get there, I wake up in a room that's apparently in my subconscious. And that's where the lock is.
Right. Did you think about the fact that you might not actually be able to find a way to unlock this here?
Yes. However, I don't have the mental ability currently to, I don't know, if I can meditate on whatever that would be. So I decided to go at it like this.
So what you're saying is, and from inside of you, Fisher here, come on, say it. You're not intelligent enough to figure this out. Then you hear Terranat go, yes!
I am not wise enough in the ways of the mind and the soul to figure it out on some weird spiritual level. So I thought I'd just freaking go at it from a mechanical standpoint.
Right.
Because that's how I think my brain works. And so maybe that's how I can get the lock open. Maybe this meditating and trying to find some freaking key is going to just be useless when I can just actually open it.
Yeah. You do not a lot of expression are based in things like this. Like, oh, I don't know. And you hear from exactly the same time from inside of you as the other one says it. Unlocking your potential
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
might
but that sounds like
actually be something not related to a key you can find here.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you ever think part of unlocking maybe my potential has to do with picking locks, and is where I'm supposed to start?
Then you're not supposed to buy a lock, you're supposed to try on locks.
Yeah.
So why did you want to break a
Making some
lock by
assumptions there, aren't we?
jostling it?
Well, I wanted to know what was open, what was in the drawer, and since I can't break it, now I'm trying to do
No,
this.
I'm talking about my locks.
Oh,
You
well, I
were.
wanted to find something close to it
Yeah.
and then practice on that.
Now you see, DM, Fisher wants to take a hands-on approach to unlocking his potential.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not an expert on dreams. I'm an expert on locks. Feel like you'd probably have more luck with the spiritual side of it, with someone who actually has a lot of knowledge in this. Maybe a priest. Maybe someone in the knowledge quarter. A lot of people have been taking advice from Teag, who is a very spiritual lass. Other than that, we do have a lot of adventurers from your world. You never know the difference in symbolism from world to world. Maybe you need someone from your own world. So that's my advice on that. If you want to keep working on locks from this side, I'd say you probably need magical lock.
Sounds good. And then I leave.
That's my lock.
I go to the
Give it
magical
back.
lock
That's
store.
my lock. Give it back.
I like put it on like the shelf by the exit. Along with the thieves' tools.
Okay. As part of your 15, I can consider that you went to this store and the next one higher up with a little bit of magic involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you get in. When you get in, you find yourself in front of a gnome who just seemed to be paying very close attention to what was happening outside of the store. And when you enter, he just sort of and takes a lock and starts fiddling with it. Hello. How may I help you, stranger?
I'm looking for a lock like this, and I'll show him the picture.
That's a nice drawing. What will it be for?
Oh, no, I'm not looking... Well, I'm looking for help to get into one.
Right. I've heard there's quite a good numbers of thieves that came in with all of the adventurers.
Yeah, there is one in my party. It is difficult to have a technical conversation with him, you might say.
So which one is he? There's several that came in. There's human.
The shorter
There's
feathered one.
the one with the
The dark
feathers.
feather.
Yes, yes, yes. We've been told about this. Okay. Yeah, I can see how this can become complicated. Have you tried showing him the picture that you have?
No.
Okay.
Also wouldn't well he can't get to it, so we wouldn't be able to unlock it.
Okay, so he can't get to it.
I'd
There's
need to
probably a good
be able
reason.
to unlock it.
Okay, is it too personal to ask why he can't get to it? From what I've heard, he just has trouble talking, not walking.
It's in a place that only I can get to.
Right, okay. That actually fills in the blank. Okay, so, what is it attached to?
Desk.
Desk. And what is the desk used for?
Holding information like schematics and spells and
What kind of schematics
parts.
are we talking about? A
Construct schematics.
construct schematics. Okay, so partly magical, partly. Then he looks at you. Well, maybe more magical than mechanical. Yeah. Okay. Well, apparently you.
And then there are arcane spells in a different one, but that's
Right. All right. So we have progress here. It's most likely the desk of a mage. That could have been interesting to know right from the start. Okay, the desk of a mage. That also complicates things. There is most likely something magical involved in unlocking it. A password, a magical imprint. Have you tried channeling magical energy at it? You know, a lot of mage use that thing to unlock things. Just channeling a little bit of cantrip level strength.
is channeling the same as just hitting it with, say, like a firebolt?
Um,
I'm gonna take that as a no.
Usually no. But you know, there's always exceptions to the rule. You never know, the lock may be able to reach out and grab energy that's been channeled around it. But usually, if you throw the magic at it, it's. Well, there are locks who are meant to be like this, but usually that really means it's. It's not going to be a taxing magic. And it has to be something versatile. A lot of mage make their locks in a way that changes so that if someone else tries 2 hours later, it's still not going to be, oh, I'll just throw an evocation spell at it and there you go, everyone can open it. No, they're going to mix it up, make sure that it's not always the same thing. It could change in an hour, it could change in a day.
So you're saying progress won't matter because you have to start over every time.
I'm saying I wasn't there. I'm just telling you the different kinds of locks a mage can think of. Sometimes it's puzzle related. You have to fit in more than one keys. Sometimes the key itself can have more than one component. I don't know if you've ever seen those key, but I've seen this key once, and it was a key that you had to place several runes in a row, and the different shape of the runes actually made the teeth of the key. So but the runes would change every 25 minutes. So, depending on when you were during the day, you had to place the different runes in different orders, and it made a different key. Although it's probably not this one, but I'm just saying, I've seen magical locks which can become extremely complex.
Mm-hmm. So is there any point to attempting to physically pick a arcane lock?
Well, yes and no. I mean, what I mean by that is, think of it as a lock with two keys. One is arcane in nature, so you'll have to find it your own, and the other one is physical in nature. It's not a waste of time to pick the physical lock, but that's only one out of the two steps. You're only making sure that it's not as complicated as it can be.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Thanks. You were more helpful than the other guy.
Well, he doesn't know much about magic. Okay. Bye.
Oh, and then I'll come back in. He was a gnome, right?
Both were gnomes, yeah.
Both were not. I'm like,
Yeah.
Are you in on the betting pool?
Which one?
I don't know. Any of them.
Some.
Do you know about the ones specifically oriented in about me? Or I'm hoping just one singular. Be really weird if there were more than one.
Make an insight roll for me, please.
I'm not good at that. Apparently I am good at that. That's a 16.
All right.
17 minus 1. I remember the last time I rolled a 17 on a die.
So when you say this half out loud, it would be odd if there were more than one. You visibly see a level of tension rising within the gnome. Well, there's at least one, yeah. I mean, just to make sure, your name is you see, he really wants you to say it.
Fisher.
Right. I do remember seeing this word in some display.
Where?
So, what do you want to bet on?
I don't know. It's just it can get kind of boring here sometimes. Obviously not me, because that'd be biased. But I mean, if y'all are betting on random dumb stuff, then I mean, yeah, I want in.
Nothing's dumb. I mean, it's not because someone's actually buying colorful dress and putting them in their closet while no one is looking that it's necessarily dumb. I mean, some humans do it. They just don't know that we can see up to their door.
Basically, y'all are spying on everybody in the garden and betting on what they do.
No.
Because that sounds super fun, and I would be totally into that.
And who told you about this?
Well, not last night, 2 nights ago, when I woke up and walked out of the pond. The 2 gnomes mentioned it that were standing there.
Right. I get it now, the swamp thing. I get it now. Well, that's not actually a bet. Although there are bets on this, but it's not actually what he's doing. He's writing a short story about a creature living in a swamp.
Is he trying to base that on me?
Apparently, something gave him the idea about the creature rising from the depths. And since we can't leave the garden, I'm guessing it's something he saw while walking in the arboretum.
So are you telling me that you guys aren't betting on what people do?
I didn't say that. Yeah, you get the feeling that something's making him uncomfortable.
Do you have any bets riding on me? Is that why you're being so stingy here?
Nah.
I put a gold piece down on the table.
To convince him or to...
Yeah.
Make a persuasion roll.
Gambling addiction, oh.
Bruh, I am on fire. That's a 15.
Good lord.
Or a 16 minus 1 is a 15.
The dice only want to support you when you're indulging in your vices. How about
Exactly. That's what it is.
They're bad dice. Okay.
I
Well,
realize it's more interesting when I play my character to his flaws. instead of do his strengths, 'cause that's boring.
Yeah, who needs that? Who needs to hit an enemy?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, they have a right to live also. Inclusivity. We gotta support our monster. Well, then he discreetly just slide a hand and start sliding the coin, and there's a variety of things that can be involved in bets. From inside of you, Fisher, you hear Taranad go, "Oh, for God's sake, it's a gnome. It's a community of gnomes. Name it, they probably have a bet for it, no matter how stupid it is."
Just both in my mind and out loud. I'll just go. I just want to know where it's happening so I can get in on it.
Okay. You're not gonna tell wardens about this, huh?
Why would they need to know about it?
Exactly. Well, they mostly leave us alone in the crafting workshop, especially near the backs, where there's a lot of prototypes. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You guys have like a password?
If you're brave enough to get there, then you've earned the right to bet.
Fair enough.
Right.
Do you mind pointing me in that direction?
Just go up a floor. And then
Sounds
go
good.
where is it? Just go where there seems
The
to be...
explosions are happening?
Explosion can happen on almost anything. I mean, my cousin managed to make a caramel explode. But, if you hear gears and grinding noise and warnings about, I don't know, weird stuff, you're probably getting there. If you just keep pushing a little bit more and you keep your head down, you're gonna start seeing something.
I have to ask, and I don't mean to be offensive about this. When you say keep your head down, is that in a literal sense? Because I have to be smaller than I currently am to get there?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Because I'm not great at keeping my head down figuratively.
Okay. Remember to stay under 5 feet.
Got it. And then I will walk out the door.
Great!
And
Good luck with your
as I go
luck!
under
Nice doing business with you. Come back whenever you want.
And then I will head there.
You'll head there. Alright, we'll give a little bit of attention to Remy because it's most likely been at least 2 hours. So, Remy, you most likely got a chance to wake up, feel the headache. The headache. Now you remember why you don't drink all that much.
But then he remembers why he was drinking to begin with, and that just makes the headache bigger.
This episode is going to be Fisher indulging in his gambling and maybe starting on an alcoholic bit.
Let's hope not. Let's hope we at least start traveling a bit. I appreciate the stalling, but you know, it also has to be interesting for the viewers. I'd like to keep the 20 or so people that are watching us every week.
Yeah, it's just like as Rainey's like recollecting his senses, just giving himself a good hard look in the mirror.
Okay. And then what?
So Rainey just takes a deep breath, gets like maybe tries to wait out the hangover a little bit by shining some of his gems.
Shining the
Then-
jewels.
Yep. Giving them a good firm polish.
It's always good
And-
to start the morning with a good polish.
Then gets dressed, and I guess because he didn't really have any other objectives for the day, at least presently, just starts making his way over to the tavern, kind of like hoping people would show up. Because usually it just works out like that.
So you find your way to the largest inn and you enter, and well, of course, it's the morning. You see a few people. I mean, not everyone is there, but you do notice one other Dragonborn, the one that was wearing sort of the monkey wizard not monkey wizard robes. Monk-ish, yeah. Wizard robe mixed with a bit of the style of the monk, like I said. You do see a tiefling, but it's not temptress. It's a male tiefling. Judging from the clothes, most likely a priest. You see two humans, male and a female. Judging from their clothes, the female most likely has a few things in common with you. The male, however, has more in common with more warrior nature type. On the second floor, near the railing, you do see the turtle paladin. And you also see oh, this one you haven't seen a lot, but why not? You see a Sharoon, but this one has a mushroom head cap on his head. Actually, he has one that is a bit of a brownish, rusty brown color. meaning that he's most likely from the Sharoons that travel a lot, caravan people. Judging from his clothes, druid or cleric, maybe nature cleric. Those who seem to be wearing adventurer clothes. Everyone else is just gnomes, few dwarves, halflings. Actually, a few halflings and a few half elves. They just seem to be normal residents of the garden.
Yeah, so then, again, just like thinking that eventually things will work out in his favor, grab some food for the morning, finds himself a table with at least 3 other openings at them, and sits himself down, starts eating, and then waits. And as an hour goes by, hour and a half goes by.
Well, eventually, most likely, Tykar will eventually join you somewhere in there. Looking a bit groggy, not completely up, and
It's like noon.
well, no, it's probably something like 9 or 10 o'clock. Tykar's been sleeping for 2 days straight. He's
Fair enough.
he's gonna get up a bit early, but since he is accustomed to getting up at noon, for him it's pretty early. He's a bit groggy, and when he notices you, there's sort of this. And then he goes toward you, sit down, and goes, well, I imagine that the others are not here yet, huh?
Maybe just kind of like looks down a bit sad.
Yeah. Well, I don't have anything else to do, so I'll just wait with you.
Then immediately Raimi just starts looking around the room for an exit.
Well,
Strategy.
there's 3 exits on each floor, and there's 3 floors. And on the uppermost floor, there is the huge board with the quests on it. And on the lowest floor, there's where you order your food.
Yeah, Raimi just blinks a couple times, hops out of his seat, and just starts walking up to the 2nd floor.
Okay, well, there's mostly normal folks from the garden, but on the 2nd floor, you do see the turtle who's there. You haven't talked much to him, but you know that he's generally a very welcoming person. Welcoming turtle. Most likely a paladin also.
Yeah, just looking for something more from this day. Raimi just starts walking over to the turtle, and when he gets there, kind of does the talon wave.
Ah! Sit down. I see you've recovered from your night of drinking.
His feathers fluff out a bit.
Yeah, I feel like that also sometimes. Was it a celebrating drinking or a morning drinking?
Just stares at him with a haunting look in his eyes.
All right, well, that speaks a lot. Here, have a little bit of this. And he takes his own drink. He takes an empty cup. You see him, he looks in it. He casts a spell on it. Puts it down, looks clean now. he pours part of what he has in his cup. And judging from how sick you feel, this most likely doesn't help at all because it's sludgy, chunky, greenish with small black dots, and it just pours out like swamp juice. Just he gives you half of what he has. Here, have this. Always helps me in the morning.
So Raimi just stares at the contents of the cup.
Don't worry, the eggs aren't fertilized.
Well, I'm gonna roll a d20 here. Let's see. Let's see how brave Raimi is feeling this morning.
It's Raimi pro-life. Or pro-choice.
That's a bit on the iffy side, but it's technically above it. So I want you to imagine just like Raimi just kind of like looks at it and looks like he's about to refuse it, but then also realizes that this person is like offering a gift, is at least trying to help. So just kind of reluctantly he picks up the mug and kind of opens his beak and lets a little of it pour down.
It's like pouring inside your mouth a very runny oatmeal. There's chewy chunks inside, which feels a little bit round. When you just let them roll in your mouth, if you use your tongue to just push them on the roof of your mouth, of your beak, and you feel them pop, they just in your mouth. And you just swallow it, and it feels like there's stringy things inside, as if there were some pieces of algae that just... It's fresh. Tastes like you've just eaten a mixture of algae and grass. There's definitely a bit of liquid in it, so it's a bit refreshing also on that side. And there's this color inside your head. Swamp green with black dots. Nothing of this is hard to swallow. It feels like it just fits on its own, as if you'd been trying to drink Jello. So it just crushes itself and it just swallows, but it's really chunky. And some of these little chunky parts squash as well, but others bursts when you push on them. You get the feeling that those are probably the unfertilized egg.
So gross.
Yeah, maybe just puts down the cup after tasting and thank you very much, Raimi.
You're welcome. It's very nourishing. Helps you wake up in the morning. I like to put a little bit of lemon in it, but that's just my personal taste.
Maybe just kind of like uncomfortably nods and understanding question mark.
So just hang around. Put your feet up. Actually, I've never seen your feet. What do your feet look like? All right, no, yeah, you can put them out on the table. No problem.
Does Raimi have boots?
No. And he just kind of blinks, but then kind of like you know, adjusts his coat a bit and like puts one of his feet on the table.
See, that's comfortable. It's a nice thing to do while you're waiting for something to happen. You can even place both feet up. It's relaxing. You just have to make sure that you don't put too much weight on your back, otherwise you might fall. No, that's actually you don't have that much weight on your back. So maybe it's good for you. You can just sit back and relax as much as you want. Come on, try
Raimi
it.
is
Not like that sound.
It's just that usually I'm way too shy to make sound, but I do this so often with my not on-stream group.
Raimi, oddly enough, finding this very nostalgic, actually. Just kind of shrugs his shoulders and, attempts to imitate the position.
Yeah, it probably feels slightly. It feels like something you've done before while you were waiting for something to happen on a heist or in a poaching run or something like that. Waiting for contact in an inn, a tavern. But he's doing it just because it feels good to relax.
And, I can, although that said, just as, actually, no, I'll go first. Let's see if he actually, nope. uh, so, like, it looks like Raimi was about to relax, but then the thought returns and he kind of jumps in his seat at the recollection again.
I seem to be having
Maybe.
problem relaxing. What's eating your feathers? I know I'm not helping with this.
Maybe just looks at him, just like, but then he kind of like starts looking left, looking right to see if like anyone in his number is around or can hear him.
You don't see anyone from your party on the second level. You do see Taikar, who's still on the first level. You don't know how acute his hearing is. Maybe he can hear you, but it's the second level of a inn, so there's a little bit of talking. He'd have to intentionally be listening at you to be able to pick you up.
Yeah, looks left, looks right, then looks back at the turtle, and no, no, Raimi, I'm sure you didn't mean it.
Okay. I get it. I get it. Keep going.
And he minor illusions, uh, specifically one of his feathers.
Nice black feather. Looks a bit like yours.
Raimi nods.
Okay. Wow, I'm better at this than I thought. Come on. Tell me
and
more.
then and then undoing the illusion, he then minor illusions audience.
Yeah, I know him.
And then he points to one of the feathers on his body.
Okay. It's getting a little confusing, but I think I get what you're saying. Either he took a feather or you gave him a feather.
When he says the second one, he jumps.
Okay. Here, have another drink. It helps.
Yeah, I'll roll for a second drink. Apparently, Raimi's feeling very brave today. Uh,
You're hoping it's gonna help for real.
just lets a little bit more of it slide down his beak.
It's the same sensation. It's cool, it's cold, it's slushy and chunky and stringy, and it pops in your mouth. You just take a good swig.
Raimi feels fuller, but not much better about the situation.
It does seem to be filling a little bit, which is odd. You're drinking something that's filling your belly, you know. It's a drink and it's a food.
All in one.
It's efficient, though you're starting to suspect that you don't have the same taste as the turtle.
Really? What gave you that? What would give Raimi that impression?
Subtle hints.
And Raimi just puts the glass back down again and then just pushes it aside. It's like, maybe not anymore.
Okay, okay. So you gave him a feather. What did he say?
Kind of gives a look and, like, maybe even kind of like into his talon, just kind of like making a circle in the table and then gives a tiny shrug of his shoulders.
Right, that's where the drinking part comes in. You don't know what he said.
Raimi nods.
Yeah. Never happened to me, but I know people that it happened to. You know, they go to a party, festivities, they drink, they meet someone they like, give them something important. Next morning, they don't remember what they gave. Or they remember, but they don't remember what the other said. There's also the time where you get up and the person's not there anymore, but that's not the problem you have right now. Can't help you much. I mean, the only way to know how he feels about this feather is to ask him, or to use magic to pry it out of his mind.
Raimi just lifts up both of his talons and just starts doing the scales thing.
I know, it's hard to decide. Both have merits, you know. One is subtle, but possibly very harmful, can result in partial insanity. The other one, much safer for the other person, not so much for you.
Now Raimi just suddenly looks very guilty about considering the other option.
You can probably find a gnome who'll do it for you. They seem to be ready to do anything.
So Raimi just like thinks for a moment. Uh, Looks back at the glass of question mark.
Go ahead. It's yours. You can finish it if you want.
And Raimi says in a familiar gruff man's voice, like, "Come on, Raimi, show me you got some eggs in you." As he takes the glass and then just like chucks the whole thing down.
Yeah. This slimy, sludgy, chunky, popping goodness falls into your mouth, into your throat. You just feel it wiggle all the way down to your stomach.
And it's like he like actually empties it, just like like does like kind of like does like that manly thing of like like letting it sound on the ground. Not on the ground, but the on the table. And if it was too light, he actually like opens his beak to make sure like he makes the loudest one that he's ever heard before.
Ah! Right! That means you want another one. He raises his hand. Warden! Short guy wants another one. I'll have another one too. And you spend the next 20 minutes digesting this double helping of turtle special.
Now, here's the thing, though. It's just like Raimi the entire time, even though it's not like necessarily his cup of tea, he's got this very determined look on his face as he's doing it.
Well, and you probably hear the turtle at one point and go, "That's right. You have the look. I knew you're gonna do something. Either way, it's gonna be painful for someone. But at least you're gonna do it, and that's good."
Yeah, that's my boy, Raimi.
Yeah, anyway, they got priests in here. If the damage is too big, you can always have them use a spell. Get them back up on their feet.
Maybe just like gives him a look like, okay.
You get the feeling that this one is either extremely open-minded or he's seen so much of everything that it's really hard to surprise him. Most likely option B. Because when you look at him, he looks like a weathered adventurer. The sides of his shell seems to be a little rough, a little bit dented. the maul that he has beside him is huge, and it looks like something that was forged out of a kidney stone from a storm giant.
It's like Remy marvels, but then also like marvels at this, like like with that bit of insight, just looking him over, and then also kind of shivers a little bit because he can't imagine letting himself be in such a state. Uh, but Remy kind of like stands up and extends a taloned hand to the turtle. From this day forward, your name shall be Ramy.
All right. I hope you're saying that it's yours. And he gives you his own huge clawed paw and shakes your hand. Well, I hope you're going to tell me how it all ended.
Ramy kind of like looks at him for a second, like, do you have a name, little one?
Oh, right. You never got my name. So I'm so sorry. That's right. I never gave you mine. I thought everyone knew my name around here. Courant. Just Courant. My people travel a lot. We don't have huge family names and islands with fancy castles. So, just Corinth.
Ramy makes a rainbow.
Always beautiful to see.
And then like after kind of like giving a wave, another taloned wave, like he starts confidently like going down the stairs and out the tavern doors.
Okay. All right. So, Remy goes down the stairs, leaves the tavern, goes on a quest to find audience. Which means it's a perfect moment to take a break. Because now I have to figure out, would probably be better if Sam was actually here for this and not me doing him. Let's hope his internet provider gets their shits together before the break ends. Otherwise, you're gonna have to do this while you're traveling. All right. So we're gonna go to this break, and as soon as we come back, well, I guess we're gonna learn about Fisher's new betting friend, and then the group is going to move on and start
Doing something.
doing exactly on the road. So, see you all back in 10 minutes. Bye. Aha, welcome back. Good news! We didn't lose any players. Bad news! We didn't get any more players. But I'm not worried about audience. I know that it's really just bad luck. I'm worried about Tykar. Let's hope he's there next time, because I don't want to have to keep playing a picture. Alright. Let's keep going. So, Remy just found his courage to either talk to audience or find a gnome to use magic and forcibly extract the information he needs from him. And that means we're gonna go to Fisher, who is apparently taking a little bit of time while audience is waking up from his evening of festivities with Core. Fisher is trying to find where is the betting taking place. And so you make your way to the testing area of the garden where all the gnomes are, and they are running around in every directions. Sometimes you see one just stopping and then looking at his creation and just going, it's gonna work, it's gonna work, it's gonna work. And boom! You see him, you see whatever was in front of him explode. He just leaves the ground, thrown maybe 10 or 50 feet away. Then he wakes up, looks at the table. It's still working! So you make your way through this maze of gnome, trying on things, warning others of not getting too close. You have, at one point, this one gnome that when you're approaching him, you hear him go, "Stop moving!" There's a light reflecting saw floating about. If you hear a buzzing sound, duck! And I don't mean the one that you can eat.
I like slowly crouch down to under 5 feet, which the other gnome warned me about.
Just move out slowly. Then at one point you start hearing
I'm gonna roll.
There's movement. I think the saw is in there. It's there. Quick, get something up. You see, takes a piece of wood and he throws it just above your head, and you hear, I think I found it. And you get all the sawdust on you, and just keep walking.
Wait, it's invisible?
It's light reflecting saw floating in the air. So it's basically invisible. You can always ask.
You know, something like that would be a lot more, I guess people other than gnomes don't generally come in here, do they?
You'd guess that they not a lot, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fair warning, that thing is a lot less safe for taller folk. So, might want to work on that one.
You say that to a random gnome?
Whatever the one was working on the saw blade.
Oh, okay. Well, it's usually not floating. I was working on it, and someone bumped into me. You see your gnome just go, I don't know. It got loose from its holdings. Now it's just floating about.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually not supposed to do that.
Yeah. How often do your guys' stuff do what they're supposed to do?
Always. We're supposed to be creating and testing stuff. That's what we do. I mean, we have to make sure that when people buy them, they don't actually kill themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And adventurers will ask you for anything. You have no idea.
Any of you guys died yet?
Technically, yes. But no.
Did whoever died keep working on the same thing that killed them after they came back?
Well, they did start in a completely new direction. Because it wasn't supposed to explode.
I guess if you're learning.
Yeah,
Even if
exactly. That's how you're supposed to do it, no? You just try it. If it works, means you succeeded. If it doesn't work, mean you didn't succeed. Or you succeeded at doing something that wasn't what you were supposed to succeed at doing. But someone else was supposed to succeed at this. And you just succeeded at succeeding on what they were supposed to succeed in. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Well, don't kill anybody with that thing. And then I'll keep...
Well, if everyone is paying attention... He looks at all the gnomes around him. You see 2 or 3 of them just going... No one's gonna be injured.
That's a hell of a way to keep people focused while they're working.
Right? Keeps you alert. But we do remain cautious, you know. When we see that the adrenaline boost from someone whose explosion is just exploded expires, we do ask him to take a few moments. Because there's this crash inside there. Yeah, that's right. You don't know what an adrenaline is. Right. Gotta keep that in mind.
So where do you guys bet on shop accidents?
Why would we bet on shop accident?
Never mind. I'll keep moving deeper, I guess.
So you
Towards worse sounds.
You
Being a little more careful now that I know that invisible flying saws is on the table. Or not on the table.
You keep moving further and further. And suddenly you start seeing the roof of this floor starting to curve a bit, going down slightly. But then you get interrupted by a gnome who just says, "Don't make a lot of sound. I just spilled sauce on the floor."
Why?
Well, it's sauce. You know, S.A.U.C. Sauce. It reacts to strong sound. You know, S. Sonic. Just keep moving quietly.
Hearing that him coughing didn't make it go off, I will be a little more confident in the fact that my unnatural or inability to move quietly anywhere will set it off. So I'll keep going.
I guess I didn't drop it at my feet. Oh, where did it go then? Then he turns around and looks at a gnome. Oh, come on, you didn't drink it again. See the gnome just go.
Wait, if he drank it, if you yell at him, will he blow up?
You see a
I think-
smile on his face. I guess you don't know about carbonated drinks, huh? And he looks at the gnome with a mischievous look.
Actually, I can do them one better. Starve him. His stomach will give him away eventually.
You see the gnome just go.
Mhm.
So, what are
They'll
you?
keep moving.
Okay, bye. Come on, let's get you where. So you keep moving. You see the floor, the roof curving, and suddenly you see this sort of reflective curtain in front of you. It shimmers slightly, but you see that it's a curtain. And you get a gnome just there and look at you and what do you want here?
Curious. What are you doing here?
I'm handing in drinks.
Hmm.
Do you want a drink?
Is it gonna blow up?
I don't know. That's why I'm handing them in.
I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because after that, if it's safe, I can tell someone to give you a discount on buying them.
I think I was warned about you.
Who's warning who about who?
I don't remember.
Right. Come on, move along.
Here.
Looks right. Start suspecting everybody.
Also, I was under the impression that you were offering me like a drink. You're talking like magical potion drink. Because that's different.
Yes and no. You drink potion, don't you? I'm offering you a
Yeah.
drink. So, I'm offering you a drink. He turns around and takes a big tray, and there's 12 mugs on it. I'm offering you a drink.
Mm-hmm.
He puts down
This
the tray,
seems
turns one of the mug more toward him. Yeah, all right. There you go.
This seems like a missed opportunity for us and some of the others around to have some fun, make some money, lose some money.
Well, you're going to be making some money if you try one. And it's good. Because you're not going to have to spend as much money buying them. So you'll save money. And you're going to have helped the knowledge bank of gnomes everywhere.
What's the worst that could happen?
You don't want to know.
Looks at the camera.
Screw it.
You
They
don't
can
want
throw me in a wagon for another couple days while they're traveling. And I will down one of the mugs.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Okay. You take one of the mugs. So,
This is the kind of gambling he thought he was going to be doing.
there's all sorts of gambling with the gnomes. All sorts of gambling. So, you take one of the mug. Each mug has a different... Each juice inside the mugs have different colors. There's a green one, a yellow one, a purple one. There's a slightly silvery blue one. There's a black one. There's a black one with chunks. There's a white one. There's a white one with black dots inside. There's a purple one and an orange one.
Let's go with yellow.
Yellow. Okay. Interesting. Let's see. Let's get a bit more information about Fisher. You're currently okay. And you have interesting.
Advantage and resistance against poison. And immunity to disease if it matters.
Well, congratulations. You're the one adventurer, or maybe a couple of adventurers, that cannot get COVID.
Yeah, all Warforged are completely immune to that. You can actually just go inside a shopping mall and touch everyone.
Kiss them on the mouth, even.
Although the taste is not necessarily going to be very good. But for you, hey, it doesn't matter. Just keep in mind that if you kiss two different people, there's a risk for them. Oh, goodness. All right, so the yellow one. I'll have you make an intelligence saving throw, please.
Ooh.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I mean, Raimi's good at those.
I've been pretty good so far. That is 12 for 15.
15. Okay. Okay. Now, all right. You roll for me. Roll a d8.
A D8.
Yeah.
Okay. 6.
6. Okay. Well, that's not too bad. You take the yellow mug. Just all right. I'll drink it. It's a weird taste. It's like licking sunshine. Hurts the...
Also, I'm still like squatting because that guy told me to stay up.
Oh, goodness. Why did you tell me this? So, it's burning your tongue a little bit. And, okay, well, doesn't seem to be making much of an effect. Then you start hearing your tummy rumbling and... Ooh, that's a bit hard on your stomach. Whew. For a moment, you know that if you could sweat, you'd probably be sweating right now. And suddenly you feel this bubble of gas forming inside of you. And for a moment, you feel, like something is draining your energy, putting you down, and you almost fall asleep like this. And you open your eyes, and there is this yellow fart that comes out of every single place that it can possibly come out of. It comes out of your eyes, your mouth, your behind, between the plates in your armor. You just go and it rises. Oh. And this is when you realize, hey, I'm out of magic. You just farted all of your magic slots.
All my spell slots.
Yeah. That's it. You farted all of your magical slots. You see the gnome in front of you, just interesting, and he starts taking notes.
What? Check. Is Terranad working? Is he alive?
Well, that's an interesting. Right now, you're not hearing him. You know that he's still active, but if you'd have to guess, he's reeling from this. Sort of like, oh, as if you'd just gotten a really, really bad and long brain freeze.
So how much is that worth?
I don't know yet. You're the first one to try it. I'm gonna have to talk to its inventor.
Yeah, so what's my discount?
I don't know yet. Let's go with 50%. I mean, you were brave enough to try it.
Sounds good.
All
I'm
right.
gonna down the black sludgy one.
Oh man, you tried more than one.
Well, 50% on the first one, next one, and that's gonna be free.
Oh goodness gracious, sweet Lord, good heavens, holy flap course. Okay.
Black one suddenly gives you double your spell slots.
Fisher's done the waiting around in the tavern thing for everybody to show up, and he's decided that he's gonna have some fun first.
Okay. So, the black one. Okay, that's an interesting one. Make a charisma saving throw, please.
Ooh. There we go. That's more like me. 5.
Oh, goodness. Mm. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so look at the black one. I'm gonna try this. You see the gnome just go, 2? That's bold! And you just trade the second one. Alright. Let's see what it does. You down it? This one really... Oh, it's sludgy. It feels like you just drank a cup of grease.
Cool.
Oh. And you feel your mind slowly starting to... Oh, goodness. You look around and you start seeing big black dots forming, and they just. And you see shimmering dust. Oh, goodness. Suddenly, you realize you've been staring at the same place for the past 20 minutes. You hear Taranad go, "Hey, you still up? Come on, wake up."
Did you see those?
Well, you've been staring at the curtain for the last 20 minutes or so. So they're pretty.
You didn't see the black dots swimming around.
No, but maybe you want to look at what's between your feet.
I looked down.
You see a little black worm looking straight at you like this. Doesn't seem to have a face, but you can recognize that he's looking up because there's a little pointy part of his face that's just looking up. You hear the gnome do, "Well, that's very interesting. I bet you didn't know you could poop that out."
Wait, what? That came out of me?
Yeah.
Fisher's a daddy.
I mean, I wasn't expecting it, but
It's looking at me, right?
yeah.
I'm gonna put my hand down so I can crawl onto it.
It crawls on you. It's like something between a black worm and a black maggot. Its
How
shape and
big?
appearance. Maybe. Oh, yeah, that's right. That doesn't give you anything if I do this in front of the camera. Roughly 2-inch long, and the thickness is maybe 7/8 of an inch. Almost an inch, just a little bit under.
Huh.
And it crawls on you, and it just looks at you.
Does it have like eyes or anything? Or is it just like
Right now, no. You hear the gnome go, "Huh. Well, I have a lot of questions about this. For one, how did it feel coming out? And then, well, it could stay like this, but could become more. I mean, I don't mind letting you keep it as long as you tell me what it becomes."
I mean, yeah. As to how it felt coming out, I kind of spaced out.
Honestly, I don't know
I
why.
don't
women
remember
complain
really
about
what
this all
happened the
time.
last 20 minutes.
Right.
I was looking at some
that
black
traumatizing, huh?
dots.
It is that traumatizing. Okay. That's interesting. Maybe we won't sell that one. At least not until we know what that is.
Oh. Maybe you've invented a way for constructs to procreate. I'm just
Who
staring at
knows?
this thing.
It just keeps staring at you. If you just move it slightly to the side, you see its head just keeps moving and staring at you. I hope you're gonna keep your word and keep us informed of what happens to this.
Well, what's your name then? Who am I looking for?
I don't know. Oh, me! I thought you meant the slug. Sorry.
No, I'm gonna name this guy Terranad.
I guess that makes sense. I don't know why, but yay. You hear Terranad go, oh, I'm so gonna make sure you regret this.
I'm gonna call him Terry for short.
No, you meant me. All right, and this is gonna be Terry. That's a nice name. Well, as I'm sure that you know, a lot of us gnomes have many nicknames. So, for me personally, it's short, simple, something that's easy to remember. Gavardis. You know, it's easy to remember. But a lot of the gnomes here also call me potion maker. Liquid tester. Silver mind. My aunt often called me weirdo, so I guess that qualifies also. And that guy over there keeps calling me pine needle, and I don't know why.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So any of those will do.
Work? I don't know. I'm sure it shouldn't be that hard to find you. Anyway, I'm looking for where y'all bet on everything.
He looks at the curtain. You're almost there.
Kind of figured. And yeah, let me know how those discounts roll out.
Yeah, sure. Well, like I said, the black one we're probably not gonna sell right away. You know, just make sure that whatever came out isn't dangerous for someone. Mostly you. If you survive it, well, maybe we're gonna try and sell it. I'm sure everyone wants to poop out a worm from time to time. The yellow one, yeah, sure. We're just gonna talk about this, and probably next time you come in, we're gonna start selling it. Then, no problem.
Maybe you could make like a poison or something, or just a prank to play on your wizard friends.
Yeah, both can work. Both can work. That's always interesting, you know, making someone fart out their magic. It's always
be a pretty nice stage trick.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah. Make sure you give this to someone who's going to do parlor tricks and yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. Probably gonna give you a free one at least.
And then I will pull back the curtain, I guess.
Oh goodness. The moment you do this, you probably have some mixed feeling about everything you see. A bit of being impressed. Maybe slightly a few regrets of losing that innocence. Some intrigue. You know, wow. You see boards that just seems to be flipping on their own. Transparent board. Looks like large boards made out of glass. It's similar to the one that all of the quests appear on it, but there are at least 20 of them. You want something, you got it. You see bets on what are going to be the long-term effects of mixing a healing potion with a haste potion. You see bets on how long will the grass take to grow if someone sits on it every day at the same time for 2 hours. You see bets on this guy keeps taking too many risks. How long till he dies? You see bets on that garden guest keeps spying on that other garden guest. How long until she tries to kill him? And right beside him, how long until he makes a move on her? And then under it, how long until he makes a move on her and then she tries to kill him? There are bets
They've got
for
their bases covered.
every single thing. And some of them have descriptions that are a paragraph long. It's almost impossible to get, but there's a bet on it. Things like, how long will it take for said merchant to sell half of his inventory while this merchant is trying to sell a quarter of his inventory? And while this one is performing a dance every single day in front of the shop. Sometimes you start reading them, and at one point, you just can't keep track of what they're betting on exactly. But there's a good bet on it. But you're just not sure what you're going to be betting on. You find a board that someone flips just as you're arriving, and you see things on it that says, how long until the only construct guest of the garden starts growing leaf? How long will it take until he starts talking more? How long will it take until he learns how to make a sword? How long will it take until he changes color? How long will it take until he annoys the heck out of the orc and gets killed? How long? And you realize that there are boards like this for every single adventurer inside the garden. And a lot of other people also.
Shit, now I need to see what all the running bets are on Raimi.
Mm-hmm. So I first off, I vaguely remember. I don't remember what context it was in, but at some point you said I sprouted a leaf.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was due to. Was it getting hit by the plants? No. I don't remember.
That was a long time ago. Whew.
Or was it?
Even
something to
longer
do
now
with the
that
sprites?
2 months have gone by.
Yeah. What?
Well, I don't still have it because I remember I plucked it. But I remember it was there. I'm just going to... that one already happened.
You get everyone to just a moment of silence. And then you hear one go, "Oh man." There's a few others that are just looking at you and looking at one another and, hey. And then he slowly just turns the board and you see someone else's name appear on it. What are you doing here?
I heard y'all had a way to make this place a little more fun.
Well, some of us are getting bored. I mean, there's a limit to the kind of invention we're allowed to do. You hear someone go, "Yeah, they won't let me try to weaponize the test marble." So, yeah, some of us don't have a lot to do.
Fair enough. Mind if I get in on it?
You get another gnome that just looks at you and, ow, ooh. He looks at another gnome. Here they are. That potion. Yeah, that one. You there. He points at you. Drink that potion. You're handed a potion. It's not.
What's it look like?
It's a. It has a color very similar to milk, but it's much thicker. A little, even a little thicker than cream.
Mm.
Does Fisher drink
Why?
the thick, creamy white stuff?
Why did you? Ah,
Just
thought about it, but wasn't gonna go there.
I didn't go anywhere. I'm just asking you a genuine question as a player.
Good question. Is this another one of those mystery things like the guy outside had?
No, you actually drank one of those?
I drank two. It gave me this little dude. I'll show the word.
You see two gnomes look at it and then go to a board and start writing. Yeah, but most of them just stay quiet for a moment. And... Two potions, huh? A few of them look at each other with a grin. Hey, do you want to try something else? Get another one that says, "Promise, it's not dangerous." Most of
What's
the
in
time.
it for me?
Well, if you're here for the betting, and then he gets interrupted by another gnome. Said, "First, the potion. Now we know what it is. Just a precaution, you know."
Know what it is? What's it do?
Makes us safe.
How? Is it gonna make me forget? Because that'd be kind of boring.
Well, actually,
I'd probably
that
just figure
depends.
it out again and come back.
That depends on what you say after.
Is this one of those weird secrecy pact things? Where I can't talk about it to anybody or else something happens?
They've handed you the Kool-Aid, Fisher.
I'm forced to say yes and no. I mean, you're really not really precise when you ask a question. You know that.
Yeah. Prefer to leave it vague and open-ended, and then people can... That way they cough up more information, usually.
Yeah. You hear
Get too
someone.
precise. People stick with just yes and no answers.
You hear someone go in the background. You are aware we're gnomes, right?
Yes.
Right.
I almost got my head chopped off by a invisible flying saw, and
You hear a
almost
gnome go, "Oh man, I lost on that too."
almost blew up a different guy by if I hadn't talked quieter.
You hear a gnome say, "Yeah, you and 5 others." So, you gonna drink the potion or not? You can imagine that we're just making sure that you know you're safe for us.
Hmm. What you think? As I'm like I'm a construct. I'm like the other wardens. Gonna like turn you in.
Again, there's such a lack of precision in this question. It's hard to answer something else than yes and no. You hear someone say, "Well, you could say maybe." And again,
The whole thing.
yeah.
Any of y'all drank it before?
Well, we sort of don't need to. Because, we're safe for us. You hear another gnome go, it's not that we have a problem with you, but anyone that's not like us had to drink this. Just to make sure that it's safe for us.
It's not gonna turn me into a gnome, is it?
You hear one go, "Oh, I want to bet on that." No, it's not supposed to.
Fair enough. And I'll drink it.
All right, make a charisma saving throw.
10.
Okay, you feel it take hold inside of you. It's a truth potion.
Ah.
You can only tell truths. You don't have to answer the questions. It's not restraining you. You can try and play with words, but you have to tell the truth. Are you gonna tell the wardens on us?
Not unless what happens here directly causes somebody's permanent injury, disfigurement, or death.
They all look at one another. Who told you about us?
Some gnomes.
Who told you about us exactly?
Nobody told me about you exactly. They just said that there were gnomes that were betting on things.
Who are the
They
gnomes?
didn't tell me exactly who you were.
Who are the gnomes that gave you that information?
There was 2 of them by the pond and one in a shop. I don't know their names.
Okay, that can be verified.
The one that's trying to write a short story.
You hear one go in the background. I know him. Okay, well, you check that. Are you gonna try and influence any bets you make?
Not unless they're about me or my party. But if it's against the rules to make bets on yourself, that's totally cool. A little less fun, though. I don't have the interpersonal skills to interfere in any of this other stuff.
Right. Well, you see, we sort of have a problem because there's a lot of bet going, and if your limit is if someone gets hurt, not sure we want you here.
Not if someone gets hurt, but if the act of you guys betting is what.
Oh no,
Get
we never try and influence what's going on. You hear someone go in the background. Yeah, never. You see five other gnomes looking at him with really really
Like,
severe
what do you
looks.
mean?
You see, we sort of have a problem. If we can't trust you, that you're not gonna tell the wardens about this, that's sort of problematic.
What would... What, you gonna kill me? Lock me in a box somewhere?
Again, that's so unprecise.
You haven't said a straight thing since I've been here.
Of course we did. You're just not listening right.
You keep critiquing me for not giving exact questions, but you could always fill them in with exact answers.
See, the thing is that we want to know what you're going to do. What are your intentions? We already know what our intentions are.
My intention
Yeah.
was to have some fun and make some money,
Yeah.
but it sounds like you guys are making that a little hard.
Well, you see, like I said, and then you start seeing 5, 10, 15 gnomes starting to walk slowly toward you, closing a ring around you. You see, if we always have to worry that a bet is going to make you tell the wardens about this, that's going to be a problem. Because you are interfering with the freedom of the gnomes to bet on things.
What makes you think the wardens would make you stop?
You hear one in the background go, have you ever talked to one of them?
Yeah.
And you are seriously asking this question after talking to them. You know how
Yeah.
tight they are?
I mean, with this crap they let you experiment with,
You hear
Be
one gnome
surprised
say,
if this was where they drew the line.
you hear one gnome go, what do you mean crap? Maybe you'd like to come at my shop, huh? I'm gonna show you what crap is. You hear
If you
no,
shop in the latrine,
you hear a gnome, no, that's mine. You see the little gnome, come on. Stop at my display. You're gonna see what real this thing is.
I have no idea where your stuff is.
You get the gnome who's been talking to the most. Come on, cool down. He's just trying to rile you up.
Seems like it's working.
Exactly. So, what's it gonna be?
What do you mean?
Can we trust you that you're not gonna tell the wardens about all of this? Or is this going to be a problem?
Like I said, as long as what we're doing back here, the actual making of the bets, doesn't get anybody hurt.
See, that's the thing. We're not influencing the bet. But we can bet on
then it shouldn't
anything.
be- Oh, so then it shouldn't be a problem.
Then answer the question. Are you going to tell the wardens?
Sounds like no.
We don't want to know what it sounds like. We want to know if you are going to tell the wardens about this. Yes or no?
Dude, you gave me a truth potion.
Yeah, but you're also always giving half answers. You're playing with words. You're avoiding
Conditional
to give...
answer.
Yeah, but you see, we don't want to have something conditional. We want a simple answer. Are you going to tell the wardens? We make bets on what happens. We make experiment. It will happen that someone makes a bet on an experiment. But the bet itself will never hurt someone. The experiment might, but not the bet. For example, him over there added the bet that you would accept giving your carcass to the garden should you die, so we can dismantle you and learn more about you. No one's gonna try and kill you, but the bet has been made. Are you going to tell the wardens about this?
No.
Alright, well, let's see, that's one. 5,000 left to here. We want to have the answer for all of these. Are you going to tell the wardens about the bets, no matter what the bets are?
You guys are into some real shady shit down here, aren't you?
Now, see, if you don't want to answer
No.
the... That's a binding answer, you know?
Well, if I can't. Screw it. Yeah, no. I
All
won't
right.
tell the warden.
All right. Well, that was simple enough. You can choose whatever bet you want, and if you can't find it, we can add it.
Slowly turns to all the bets regarding audience's love life.
There are bets about everyone, everything, no matter how stupid it is. Like I said, some of them are so long to read, you lose track of what you're actually betting on.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Well, you don't actually have to bet right away, you know.
Are there rules for conflict of interest?
There's a lack of
Like, say,
precision.
could I place a bet on whether or not this guy's gonna live?
Well, it depends. Are you trying to kill this person?
I'm pointing at the worm in my hand.
Is it your intention to kill a worm?
Of course not.
I don't see any problem with betting if it lives or not. You hear one go, why not making it a little bit more interesting? Put a time frame on it. You hear
Here we
another
go.
one say, add a condition to it.
I'd say it makes it back alive next time I come back to the garden.
Alright, so you just want to bet that it's still gonna be alive the next time you enter the garden.
Yep. If I keep it on me while I'm gone.
See, that's more precision. That's good. So if you drop it and forget it somewhere, then the bet is nullified.
Well, yeah, because then how would you know if it's still alive?
Well, you could drop it, then forget it, then come back. You know, if you don't bring it with you, you're an adventurer. You're sort of.
Yeah. Could be a different worm.
Then maybe you should add that to the bet. Next time you get back here with that specific worm, it's still gonna be alive.
Now we're getting somewhere.
All right.
You guys have fixed prices on this shit?
Nope.
You guys do odds?
Well, we don't know your world all that much, and we don't know what that worm is.
Fair enough.
Giving odds is a bit hard, but hey, someone can try. You hear, no, I'll try. Then the one says, I can give it a try.
Alright. Oh, I'll put like 5 gold down. That he's still alive when I get back.
You look at all of them looking at the gold. And, right. You pay with metal. That's gonna be
You
a...
guys have something else?
Yeah, well, in our world, the money is a bit different. I guess we're gonna have to find an equivalent for this. Oh, we're gonna keep note. We're gonna tell you what it's. It's probably not gonna
Is
be
it
a lot.
still material?
Oh yeah, but for a while, metal was extremely rare during the cataclysmic event. Metal became extremely rare and sought after, and so we stopped using it. Um, we used
Are
other
you
things.
not supposed to tell me that stuff?
What, we don't use metal anymore?
Uh, all the wardens are super weird about
I
everything not.
feel like you should probably know this already. There's bound to have been at least one shop owner who looked at you and said, "Right, you use metal for payment." I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure you heard that pretty at least once.
yeah.
You hear Gnome go, "Oh man, I wanted to bet on that," before he answered.
So I mean, does it work, or do you guys need something else?
No, we're gonna come up with an equivalent. Just take a note of it. No, I really mean it. Take a note of it. Oh, okay. All right. 5 gold that the how do we
Terry.
categorize this? Terry, all right. 5 gold that Terry is gonna be alive. This Terry is going to be alive the next time you enter the garden. Add it on the board. Come on. Oh, okay, yeah, right. Sorry. And you see on one of the board, just aligned.
All right. Well, should be fun. And I leave. Am I still encircled by gnomes?
No,
Okay.
once you said truthfully that you would not tell the warden, they relaxed. All right. So, you make your way out, again, being very careful with some experiment, hearing some gnome just go,
Yeah, as soon as I get past the curtain, I just stare at him. I'm like, don't let me down.
He's still just looking
I'm
at
like,
you.
I need to find something to put you in.
All right.
I'll go back to the inn.
You go back to the inn, I don't know, maybe 3 hours later in total. The time to get there, go up, find everything, walk around gnomes, basically having a minefield around you, giving birth to Terry in this conversation, and then coming back. And you enter the garden, and you find yourself in front of all your friends. You know, Taikar is there, audience is there. Remy is 2 table further away, looking at Taikar with a frown. An audience sitting right next to him.
Where you guys been? I've been at the cart for the past like 4 hours.
Everyone looks at you. Remy, you have a high enough passive perception.
This is my passive deception of 9. Beat everybody's.
Remy, you have a high enough passive perception to notice that Fisher is holding a worm. Of course, you get audience who just looks at you, looks at the worm, and hey, how you been? No one told me we were supposed to be at the cart.
Yeah, we're really bad at this stuff. But yeah, we ready to go?
Everyone seems to agree. Remy?
Remy's still kind of like staring at the worm.
It's a black worm, 2-inch long, a little bit under an inch of diameter, jet black. Its appearance is somewhere between between a regular worm and a maggot, and it just keeps looking at Fisher.
Maybe hops out of his chair, walks up to Fisher, and like takes one of his talons and is like about to poke
You trying
it.
to poke it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull it away from him.
So you get this moment where the Fisher has this.
And Remy just looks so confused.
Like, hey, no touching. He's got to survive. I've got money on this.
Oh, I feel like audience should have a reaction to this, but I'm just not sure which one. I'm having trouble.
Remy's still looking confused, but suspecting he's not going to get a more substantive answer, just shrugs his shoulders and.
By the way, everybody, I would like you to meet our new party member. My child, Terry.
Feels like this is the perfect moment to end the stream.
Short for Terranet.
Oh, we could leave it off like that.
Oh, but just imagine this. You get this. By the way, everyone, here's my child, Terry. Just get the camera, just zooms in on the black worm maggot. With Remy, a talon still in the air. So yeah, it feels like a very interesting place to finish this. And make sure that the moment we all come back, we get a reaction from this. And then we start moving off. Because apparently, we've just had confirmation that everyone is ready to move on. Start moving again.
Hey.
So,
I need the other players to be here to react to meeting my child.
yeah, since no one knew you were pregnant, so
It was a short,
Maybe just pulls out
about 20 minutes.
Maybe pulls out like a book of lore and starts like flipping through it madly.
Super confused.
what is that thing? It's looking at him all the time. Oh. Well, at least it's the black drink that you drank to give birth to that. Imagine if I'd said that it was the white creamy one.
Oh, man.
I have a feeling you would have been angry at me for a while.
Although, incidentally, folks, if your slimy potion is black, please see a doctor.
Yeah, no, please. No matter who you are, don't do what Fisher just did. Do not try weird potions from weird people. Even friends, ask them what it is. Don't
Also ask them if they are your friend.
That should be like the first question.
The mystery potion that is just ketchup in a Gatorade bottle is fine. Mystery potion, that is. Motor oil. It's not fine.
There was so many interesting potion this episode, so be careful about what you drink. Whether it is a green, slimy, chewy, and stringy potion drink that someone hands you, or a yellow one, or a black one. Please, always be careful about what people are handing to you. Always. Don't do what they did.
Da 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 da.
And remember, paladins are immune to disease after a while. You are not. Oh, goodness. All right. Well, thank you for watching this strange episode. It's been a pleasure having you with us. We unfortunately didn't see a lot of action in the chat. Would have been nice, if you're still here after all of this nonsense. Just say something. Say hi. Tell
Our
us.
DM would like a morale boost.
Not to be confused by the 80s movie Say Anything, which we are not, but although one of us might be able to make a boombox, don't rule it out yet.
All right, so give us a prayer so that we have a full party next time. Hopefully, our paladin is gonna have his light restored. And I don't know what the problem was with our bard.
Sore throat.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hope. All right, so thank you very much for being with us. Thank you very much for being this patient with us. Hopefully we're going to see you again in 7 days. And until then, take care of yourselves. And yeah, sorry. And always, as always, if you enjoy this, I don't know why you would, but if you do, follow us on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. It's also always very nice to get a donation or become a Patreon. And as always, just spreading the word about this channel. Any word would be very nice and very much appreciated. Don't forget, our goal is 50 followers on Twitch. Can activate subscription. Bound to be nice, fun.
What are we at? 40 something?
42. Unless someone unfollowed after this episode. We're supposed to be at 42. It would be nice to go to 43, 44. Help us out. Help a player. So, hopefully, we're going to see you in 7 days. Oh, yeah, that's right. 7 days. Well, hopefully, the United States is not going to be in a state of civil war by then. So, see you all.
Oh.
See you all next week. Stay safe. Stay healthy.
Lock your doors.
Yeah. Plug yourself in.
Just so that you stay inside and quarantine.
Yeah, and remember, don't drink weird potions.
Oh.
See you all again next week. Bye.
Tonight.